things that are set up now. This whole platform is very much under development as we speak, so there are lots of things that aren't working the way we'd want and that we're still learning about. But I'll try to make a coherent presentation here. Can you see my mouse? Can you see my cursor moving?
Nope.
Yep.
Oh, you can.
Okay, some do, some don't. Okay, it's just in the dark area there underneath that main menu.
Oh, okay.
So we have a menu across the top here. You see first the logo Mutual Aid Network, and then next to that says Home, Join, Events, Forum, News, Documentation, Projects, Groups, What is Man, Contact Us, Shop, and Marketplace. And then at the end here, Create New, Announce, which is an offer or a request or some other types of events. Below that, you'll see there's a sign-in login here, and you can see that I'm logged in, and this is where you would go to log out and things like that, and also will show you other users that might be on the system at this time. There's a little discussion down in the middle here about what mutual aid networks are about and the Contact Us form. And if you scroll down to the bottom, there's contact again and a little bit of navigation and some facts and sign-up sheets, which we'll talk about in a minute. On the left here is a little menu at the very top that says Website. That will only appear during development and only for certain people. You see it because I'm logged in and I have permissions for that. Right now we're running a lot of the functions through that particular menu, which I think you can see here has projects and sales and things like that in it, a lot of which are similar to the ones that are on the main menu here.
So we are not seeing that. I'm not seeing your scroll down bar. So
okay,
somehow,
that's good to know. That maybe it's on the left-hand side at the top, but you don't need to see that for most of the things I'm going to show you. So I wouldn't worry about it.
You could have it though, so you see what you're trying to show. And I wonder if you click on Go To Meeting again to see the. I don't know why it's disconnected from what it.
Oh, here. Yeah, it looks like it stopped screen sharing. Let's see if it's.
All right, now we can see it. Great, perfect.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yeah, it just did that all of a sudden. I don't know why. So thanks, and let me know if it stops doing that again.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll go here once in a while during the discussion, but the main thrust of what I want to talk about today is what this particular menu is showing here. Some of the functions that are in here are not really set up yet, just because we have to get to them all, and there are setup events that have to go on. This may or may not be the final presentation. One of the things this system gives us is control over what people see, so that you can focus on things that are of interest to you. So we're still fine-tuning how we're going to do the menu structure and presentation and things like that. If you go to the home section here, it brings you to this page that we see now with the green fields and the lonely tree and all that. This artwork can be changed, and we're trying to set it up so that each individual site will be able to have their own home page, and so you won't see the same thing that we see when you come in necessarily. The next section here is called Join, and this is just a way to join the mutual aid network. At this point in time, it's sort of undifferentiated, and everybody's joining one network. Later on, this will be more specific to particular sites, and you'll be able to control some of that. And it's just basic information. What's your name? Are you joining as an individual or an organization? Some basic information about name, interests, whether you're going to work on some of the working groups that we have. So this list here will change over time. Email and other contact information, phone, address, and we ask you to pay a sliding scale fee based on organizations and individuals, which is down here, and we'll talk about that. There's a membership agreement which is hooked up to the WordPress site, which because of an unusual technical glitch I can't get to on this computer right now today. I'm about to go buy a new router that we think is going to solve that problem. But normally if you click where it says click here, you'll go and read the text of the membership agreement, which lays out the basic agreement and what we're about and everything. And then you can come back into this page. And this is basically a sign-up page. Down here it talks about contact us if you see problems with the monetary part of this or anything like this. People who have signed up in the past on this page are considered members, are paying annual dues typically, although we're trying never to make an issue of that. And we're going to be coming around because it's been a year and some change since all this really fired up, and we'll be coming around talking to people about dues fairly soon and beginning to manage that. That's just a little bit about the join page on here. We have another page called Events, this tab here, and this is where you can list things like the summit that you folks are at now. We haven't been using this recently, but if you look in here, there is actually listed the summit from last year here in Wisconsin, and you'll see that when you put an event in here, it allows you to give a map, you can show where it is, it gives you contact information, and you can sell tickets if you want to, or you can make reservations happen. There's a lot of flexibility in there. We're not using most of that functionality yet, but that will be available to all the local groups. You can put your own events in and have them appear on calendars and things like that.
So that cut.
Any comments? I'm just sort of busting through this because I don't want to waste your time. If there's something that somebody wants to dive into, please just let me know.
What'd you say?
I said I'm kind of running along.
No, Kate had a question. I was asking her. Sorry.
No, it's just
Okay.
Eventbrite, for example.
Yeah.
It charges you an additional fee on top of a percentage.
Yeah, so it's all in-house. We can replace our need for Eventbrite and crowdfunding pages and the national economy in all kinds of ways.
Yeah, and that's something to consider as we go forward. We're really trying to include a lot of functionality here, and we're always interested in feedback about things that should be there that aren't, or things that don't necessarily belong here as well. Because we're inventing it as we go, as you know.
Mhm.
So this is the type of setup you can give for events, and you can, this one says Man Up Summit. You've got United States, you've got all events, and you can classify things various ways. That's one of the reasons we consider this a good platform, because it offers a lot of functionality, but at the same time, there's a cost in terms of setting up and managing it. Once you get it done, then it should serve us very well. There's a forum place here, which allows different discussion threads, if you will. And right now I'm kind of locked out of this because it can't seem to send me a confirmation email, which I think we have to set up our email server since we moved it out of Valrose Place. But you can see in here's somebody puts in a question or a discussion, and people can reply and just join in. And basically, anybody can get into here. You just sign up, you subscribe to this, and you can carry on conversations about a number of different things. I think a lot of people are looking forward to being able to use this for a lot of communications around projects and things like that, and I think it's going to be very wonderful for that purpose. And you can see who's around. There's issues in here, tags and badges. I couldn't answer a question in here because I don't have enough karma. You would think by now I have plenty, okay? But no, I don't have sufficient karma to reply yet, so I'm working on it. I'm going to go out and do something good or bad. I don't know which. So that's the scoop on that. So there's the forum, and I think this is going to be very useful to us going forward, and I think a lot of the current discussions that we're having on phone calls and things like that will end up moving into here and make it a lot easier for a lot of us to actually continue conversations when we can't all be in the same place at the same time.
Like, but it's relevant. Are you going to be available for the tech meeting on Monday? Because I'm thinking we can be setting up and making decisions, like getting people set up on this and making some decisions about using the forum on Monday.
Right now, it depends on the timing. I have a consulting thing going on Monday that's a little up in the air, but yeah, let's talk about it. And
yeah,
very likely.
Regular time, but let's send something out if we're going to do that. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. No, it's appropriate and fine. Okay, so now we're in the forum. Next is news, and it seems to pull this from new announcements. It's a little obscure to me how things get into here, but I'll show you. We have a couple of news pieces in here. Here's welcome to the map, and we'll work for garlic, which is really pretty good. And this is Michael Giroux, who's in Providence, Rhode Island, and one of our more active pilot sites is trying to do a lot of things right now. And here we are. What's holding us back? Well, we're going to talk about it. So there's a lot of discussion in here. How it got here, I don't know. I'm still finding out. So I'm sorry?
Hi, Tim. This is Chris.
Oh, good. Chris knows a lot that I don't know. I'm glad he's here.
So those are blog posts, and we're working on changing the format of the blog.
Okay, good. And will you be posting them right in here, you think?
Yeah, so Stephanie's maintaining a blog at the moment at Time for the World. I believe over the course of time we'll also have that linked here.
Okay, great. That's good to know. Thank you.
Hi, Chris.
Go ahead.
I just said hi, Chris.
Okay, good. Documentation doesn't go anywhere right now. We've got a lot of work ahead of us assembling documentation as we make decisions about how this thing is going to be set up and deployed and everything. So I'm not going to go there right now. Projects on this menu right now doesn't work very well, so I'm going to go look in another place for that. And basically, but this is one of the heart and soul of one of the things we're trying to set up in here. So I think it's going to be useful if we can ever get there. Come on, baby, kick over. Okay. Pardon my slowness. I use copper, you know. So here are a number of projects going on. I'm just going to grab one because it's got a lot of detail in it, relatively speaking, and you can see how things look. So you define projects, and projects have, if you look across the top here, inspire, seed idea, cultivate, in practice, harvesting, done. These are like stages in the development of a project from the idea to that we're finished. And so you can allocate tasks to different stages of the project, and then you can assign people to those tasks, and keep track of what's going on and sort of lay it out. And it offers tools like Gantt charting and things like that that I haven't had much ability to work with yet. But if you look into one of these particular tasks, let's see, I saw somebody's name in here somewhere. Well, we'll just go here for now. So here we're in the planning section here. And I'm just clicking on one of these.
Click on the little arrow. Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, I think it's going there. Just yeah, it takes a while. Okay, so here's a particular task inside of here, and you can see there's a lot of information about it included. We know which project it is. We know the project is assigned to, who's in charge of reviewing the project. These are all things that you can edit using these tools up here. You can create a new task by hitting this button on the upper left. You can edit this particular one and get in here. You can set deadlines. You can assign tags of different sorts. You can create related announcements, and that's where the news comes up. And there's some things in here about delegating extra information and assigning partners to different aspects of it. You can put a lot of information in here, and I think that after we get some templates in place and get a few things going, we'll find this very, very useful for moving projects along. Again, we've been doing this kind of work outside of this software, and we're all sort of chomping at the bit, wanting to get into here and start using it. So anybody that wants to work on tasks involved with setting up this platform, please let us know. We can probably find some ways to use you.
Can I share something while you're on this window real quick?
Absolutely.
I've been saying a lot of times, like, I can foresee a future with all this stuff, hopefully not too long from now, like next week, but where you're just doing the work that you want to be doing in the world, and your accounts are filling up. But here is like, so when you create a project, it has, and Tim will probably show you that later, when you create a project, it has a way to invite the partners onto the project, and it'll show you the people who are already in the platform. And then, so there is all this accountability, but if I've taken on a task, then when I go and log my work summary, when I've done it, I can say how long I spent and that it's been done by me. And then it can assign those hours into my account, and that could be denominated in whatever we've agreed to compensate me with for that task. So you can see, like, you just build your compensation, like peer-to-peer compensation seamlessly in with your workflow.
Yeah.
And with like say it's time back, you might have some paid hours.
Yeah, it could be time bank, it can be money, it can be points in the savings
pool. It could
be
whole coin, because whole coin is
Yes.
outcomes based, so then that triggers that, the initiation, and then the outcome when you get back to that. I could
Yes.
really see that working.
Yeah, and we are free to create any kind of credit on here.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at the screen right now, like right here in the middle, you'll notice it says who'll create the announcement. We've got Michael's name there. Okay, it's assigned to somebody. And if you look at any particular piece of this, one of the things here is assign the partner, right? And so you can assign different partners into different stages of this. I've got some questions about this screen that you're looking at right now where it says assigned partner configuration and then assigned partner. Looks hard to distinguish between them to me. But that's just me. But what you can do is you can just go in here and assign somebody, and you can see you get a drop down here, and you get people. Now, one of the tricky things about this whole system is I've identified now at least 4 or 5 different lists of people in this thing that are partners and users and members and all these other things, and we've got to come up with some way to harmonize these and make them work together because it's totally bananas. I'm in 4 other lists, and I'm not in this list that I can assign myself as a partner to this job. You know, so we got work ahead of us there. But the point is, and what Stephanie's saying is, you'll get a list of people and actions here and what's going on, and you can see it tracks working time progress against the estimate, and it gives us totals. Notice that people can follow a project without being assigned any tasks in it. Right now, that's the case for most people that are hooked up to these projects. So, again, when we get into documentation, we'll have some videos and some training and things like that to explain all these different aspects of it for people. But there's a lot to it. It's pretty good as far as that goes. So that's what the projects are about. And again, we're in a different menu now, so I'm going to go back over here. But again, you can see all the menus here. You can decide which menus appear where to who, and it just takes some work to get it done. So again, we're back to the main thing here. We were just looking at projects. Next up is groups. And basically, this is a number of mail lists that are associated with different tasks. You can see we've got work groups, communications, finance, funders, legal, tech, etc., the working board. We've got different participants involved in each one of these groups, and you can subscribe or unsubscribe to the different groups. And pretty much that's all it is. It's just a matter of, do you want to be kept in the loop on particular kinds of events and projects? You can sign up, and then you'll get those communications. Groups is a pretty powerful concept in Odoo, which is the platform that we're using for making all this happen. And groups will become meaningful in several different contexts, including your local site, if you will, your local group. We'll have your own group at that level as well, so you can communicate within your group if you want to. And what is MAN? This takes us to a discussion that's on the WordPress site, and if I try to go there, it never goes, just because my router is broken and I need to get a new one. But maybe somebody else can show that later on. It's just discussion of what's the mutual aid network concept and shows the gears and all that good stuff that you may have already seen.
Cool.
Contact
groups. Are the email lists working yet, or is that something that still needs to be worked out?
From what I can tell, Chris may bring us more up to date. I don't think we've set up the email servers yet. I think that all broke when it came away from the Weezer servers before, and we just didn't realize it yet. I put out an email earlier today that I want to change the domain name service part of our hosting from where it is now to Rose Hosting, because then it'll make it a lot easier for us to directly set up and manage the servers and things like that.
Okay.
So you'll see that later on, and just I want to do that for that reason, because it's definitely time to get the mail going. Contact us, again, same issue. It gives you a form, and it goes back to whoever would get the mail, but the mail doesn't seem to be going through just yet, so we're working on that. Shop doesn't work at this point. I'm not sure why. Marketplace is kind of good, and this is basically what people have put up for offers and requests. It's historical. There's a lot of people just banging around in here in the early days, but you'll see the kind of thing. Here's somebody's got stereo for sale. Here's somebody will help you with booking for music. This one here's one.
Request. Just kidding. It's mine.
Yeah. There's offers and requests, so we got them both going on in here. Here's Stephanie offering to help set up your time bank. Here's a big request for help with fundraising. And again, this is, if you go up here and you click this little checkbox that says create new announcement, which we need to work on that spelling, then it lets you make an offer or a want. And then they will appear here, and then you're on the road and people can see them and decide to react or not. The shopping is similar, but it's goods and services in a different sense, and we just haven't activated that yet. So that's pretty much the run through what the basic menu is of what we're looking to offer right now. There are 49 modules in here, and you can see this is only about 8 or 10 of them. So we have other things that we need to learn about that we can bring to bear if they become useful for us. And it's starting to come together. We're learning it and seeing it. Chris can tell us a little bit more and maybe show us some things that might be useful. I don't know if you've got anything going with the folks in St. Louis that would be worth seeing or anything like that.
Hang on, Kate has a question first. Should I have you show your screen though, Chris, or no?
You can, either way, yeah, and Kate can ask her question.
Okay, go ahead, Kate.
It was just about the page with the offers and wants. Is it possible to, because normally that would be like time banking, is it possible to have your offers and wants in an offer what you're offering back? Whether that's, like, it might be a different currency, it might not be time bank credits, it might be just so you're doing an offer, it's just this is something I'm I'm sharing, I don't need it.
Yeah, so here I'll show you, when you create a new offer, you can say what currency it's in. So here's mutual credit. Right now this is US dollars. You could also do euros or pounds. And then hours. So basically you can say how you want to trade. Within this, put all the information you need, where, when, the quantities, and the like. So it is set up to be able to do that.
No, I think that's really exciting because you can
And
trade
it's always
according to what you
and
need
or.
at that point. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I missed the beginning. Is this you offer this as time, or you offer it as an individual?
Any of these.
Any.
Project or individual, and you can do any currency.
But it means that you
That we
don't
set up.
just have to do
So
something for time
I
credits.
could chat to somebody who likes designing workshop. We could collaborate.
Oh,
Yeah, and you can make a project that you collaborate on.
Projects and goals, shared goals, and pitfalls. That's the tool.
Well, the project manager would be more the tool to do it. So you'd set up a project that you're working with them on, and you'd have your offers and wants that you put this way, and there's communication stuff. So it'll set up a communication group for your project.
Yeah.
So it does all those in different pieces of it.
But in terms of the marketplace, it just going back to the budgeting yesterday, where you can fill up, you might need more time credits, you might need some whole coin, or you might need some actual money. So depending on where you are in your budget, you can decide what's the currency that you're looking for in that circumstance.
Okay.
Which I think that's
Money.
really cool. Well, you might want money.
Yeah, money. Yes, it works in money also.
From the savings.
Well, people from wherever, from however people. So if I'm agreeing to buy something for money, it's up to me how I'm paying for it, and so I can just sell stuff. We can sell stuff for
You
Like
might
an
say,
eBay.
currency over here, and this will be linked with PayPal, or that's their plan to link it with PayPal. But we could also do the kind of mutual credit. And if it is from a savings pool, then that would be its own separate thing managed in a different way. So maybe I'm getting money from a savings pool that's listed as a project or something. So it's something that we'll tease out as we start needing to do it.
Yeah, I think too, Stephanie, something that is easy to overlook because we're not used to this whole model is you're going to have a great ability to go back and forth and negotiate and talk, because that's one of the things this whole thing is about, is to make it possible for people to interact in a personal way in the context of all these things.
Yeah.
And I think that's that's big. You know, it's not you put something out there. It's not like you're at Macy's and that's it. You know.
Yeah. And there's another piece that's conditional offering, like that I've thought of it from the flip side, not based on, I mean, of course it makes tons of sense based on what you need to meet your budget, but I've thought of it based on how closely the people or parties align with your philosophy. Like I've thought, well, I'll sell it for dollars if you're doing something totally unrelated, but if it's another food cooperative project, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
And if you're like, you know, somewhere in between, I'll do it for some kind of mutual credit. So you can just make conditional offers based on your affinity for the project or person. I'm going to sell it to you, but I'll give it to you. What people do all the time, right?
Yeah, one of the things that's nice about it too is, you know, it's always presenting you with those alternatives, you know, so you always are aware that you're making a decision about how you're managing your budget, you know.
Cool.
Well, I like that.
So I guess the other thing I'll just quickly show for those that were in the sociocracy
Oh, yes.
session, just in the projects, we had those stages that Tim showed for a project, but we're also kind of moving to a different format. So kind of this backlog in process and done, and basically people can put in tasks in the backlog, and then we have a priority backlog, which we're just going to keep up to 10 different tasks, and then the kind of backlog wishing is everything else. And then when people are ready to take something and then have it in process, we know that they're working on it. You can just drag the task there to in process, and then when they complete that, you can put it to done. And so this is a good way to track where different tasks are in each work group. We have approximately 6 different work groups, and with each of them, we have this set up for both operations and governance. So if a work group has a task that they're like, oh, we don't have kind of the decision-making power to act on that specific task or decision, you can put it into a different work group's backlog, so it brings their attention to it. And then the difference between operations and governance is anytime like a specific decision needs to be made by the group, it goes into the governance, and then operations are the individual tasks or roles that is assigned out to make kind of the everyday workings go versus larger decisions. So
yeah, that's really major. Yeah, I was going to start to talk about that, but you're better prepared to do it than me, that there are these different ways to organize. And part of it is there are different ways to organize these different stages, and ultimately we should plan on getting pretty good at that because it gives us a lot of new ways of looking at things, and I like that bunch.
Yeah, so we're just starting to implement that in Weezer. We've been tracking it in other ways, but we're looking to move all of that into Weezer so we can better track it and everyone can more easily see it.
Yeah, just a note, Chris. We should probably start at least outlining the basic concepts behind that and getting it into the documentation. That'd be a good place to start with some of that because it's something that hasn't been in the conversation before, and people are going to need to understand how to work with it.
Yeah.
So, and I'll be happy to play with that if you want to just put a short piece of basically what you just said, and then we'll look into what we can do and see how the documentation is going to work.
Okay. So that's a quick summary of it. Are there any other questions or specific things that people have questions about regarding Weezer or the map?
The documentation is where we need to be building that out. Rachel just asked if there's a user guide. And we shouldn't get Tim started on that. Because it's difficult to use user guide. We have to create more. Right? That's what we're going to do in the documentation part.
I can't hear you very clearly at all.
Rachel was asking if there's a user guide, and I was saying what we have right now isn't sufficient, and that's what we will be creating in the documentation tab.
Absolutely. Yep. That's the plan. That's why I'm talking about it that way. We need to start now.
So it's not only written documentation, but also the aspect of like video tutorials for people as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Everything that works. We like it.
What does
John was trying to help us with that.
Yeah. So I am recording this, and we'll have this to start. This is a nice little overview, and I want to say it's really great to see the work you guys have done on this. It's really exciting to see it shaping up, and I know it's been a lot to get where we are.
I don't suppose you could just go back to that page, the marketplace page with the different, where you can choose what currency you ask. I just wanted to take a quick picture of that. Yes.
Is that what you're looking for?
It was, yeah, so, but it's where you had the different options.
Yeah, under the how much.
Currency. Yeah, is that one in particular? So drop down box to the how much. That's it.
There you go.
So did you have any specific questions about that, or you just wanted to see it?
No, I just wanted to share it. I just want to share that with others.
I may have little questions, but I don't know if it's worth asking. I just saw the mention of invoices on the left-hand side of the menu bar under where we were in projects, and
Yeah, so we can track time that people put on projects, and then we can also be able to pay out in hours and dollars or other currency. Basically, that will allow us, for the main man as a project to continue growing this work, to be able to pay out. So same thing in hours or credit or time, or dollars or other monetary currency.
Just a quick question. So we're currently using our world software, TimeBank. So say on here we were saying we'd charge so many credits for that. How would that actually go? Like with money, you could use PayPal. How would that go into our account? So would we have to manually do that?
So for money, we've been we want to integrate pay service, so we don't want to actually handle those transactions, but transfer them off to the service such as PayPal.
But with
and then,
time credits.
But for credits, we can transfer those. So if you accept a specific offer, for example, if I want to help setting up or running a time bank, I can click on Stephanie's specific announcement and then make a reply. And then you can say, hey, I want 10 hours from Stephanie, and for that I'll do 10 hours to her. I mean, I could also say credit or dollars and put in a description that I want to give to her about that. So maybe I would say, I'm in Chicago, so, really, Stephanie, I would like some help in Chicago's time bank, and then I would add the reply that would get emailed to her, and then she can reply to that and accept it, reject it, or cancel.
Nice.
And so then there's an invoice page. So say she accepted it, and I can see both sides because I'm logged in as an admin. That's the only reason I can see both sides. So I accepted it for her, and then we can invoice after it's done. So she invoices for that time, whatever time it might be, and it's 10 hours, and then I can pay for it in the hours, and then that gets deducted from my account.
Yeah, so you would put unit price 1 for this, but that's fine.
Yeah, and then the dollar amount, yeah.
I guess it was how it gets into a time bank account. Another.
It comes into your man account. It won't. There's no link with Our World or
So
Community Weaver.
yeah.
It's not going to go into your time bank
Yeah.
account and your local time account. It's going
Yeah.
to your man hour account.
Yeah. So actually, yeah.
You in order for it to start connecting with other time banking software directly, it had to be through APIs, but
Yeah.
also Matthew's working on like a clearinghouse
Yeah.
with community exchange system, so there might be another way to exchange between them. But I feel that it might be just fine just to have the network of networks, like you do some
Yeah.
things in your man
So
account, some things in your
time
local account, and we
Yeah.
can do things like we do between time banks, make workarounds. So you could have a Hull time bank, a Hull and East Riding time bank account in here, maybe
Yeah.
that then exchanges with the man account that's in your time bank, and
Yeah.
that's the workaround we've generally used. But
Yeah.
we'd like to make something cleaner now that we have our own, our own project with the goal of having more intersections.
Cool.
So-
Anything else at this point?
The unit.
Yeah, I would just say that we were talking about making other software to the main man, and maybe that'll happen in the future with Matthew and the linked APIs and modules, but that's a ways off.
There were three units of currency. There was dollars, hours, and what was the other one?
Is mutual credit?
So that's
We haven't defined it yet.
You haven't defined it, right? Okay.
Yeah, we haven't. I mean, we've talked about different ways of denominating mutual credit, like we could do meals or miles or night stay or something, but we're just playing right now, and so that'll be something I think that the main man would decide, the members I would hope would decide sort of through sociocracy what kinds of things we would want to add or how we want to classify them within the core values, but a lot of our goals have been to create a place that's really open for playing and experimentation. So my desire is to have it a lot of options.
So it wouldn't necessarily be a number. It could be just this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're inventing new ground here, so it's going to be fun.
Right.
And we've been toying around with the idea of calling it the many versus money.
Yeah.
Calling it
Oh, I like it.
NY, yeah. I like the many. I think we could just start calling it the many, because then if you're like, I want for many meals, I want for many trips, I want.
Now, how many trips do you want? Right.
Exchanging like for like.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like that.
I do think it would be interesting with the whole coin technology. There might be a quick win to explore the interface between them, because it's like a code, isn't it?
And all the
I just think
conversation.
yeah, pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Could members of the TAM bank join this then?
Yes, anyone can join this.
Yeah.
Can we join now?
Yes,
Great.
Yes.
please. Yes, please. Yeah, there are join buttons. There's a join button on the WordPress site too that sends you into the same membership page that Tim showed you.
We don't have a
this is the WordPress site. Hopefully most of you've seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, postcode. Yeah, I'm not sure if our address stuff is friendly for other countries, so we're going to have to start getting there. We're going to have to start building translation capacity as soon as possible, all kinds of stuff. Did you guys notice that at the bottom and on the footer in the small print, Leander put the heading mansplaining?
Yes.
I was so happy. I just saw that during the Peer Value Conference in Amsterdam. And actually, I had just met someone from Inspiral who originally was really bristly at the fact that we were calling it the man. But when she saw this, it made her really happy and made her realize that it's a bit tongue-in-cheek and playful, all of it. So really put her at ease.
Yeah, I remember when you first talked about her not good response, Good. Well, this is good. What else? Anything? I'm going to get off, I guess.
Up. I mean, this is day 5. We're at Friday at almost 5 o'clock, and we've learned a ton. And anyone else have something you want to throw in?
That's good.
So thank you so much for all the work that you've done on this, Tim and Chris especially, but everyone who's participated, and thanks for getting on to show us around, and it's going to be really fun to watch it take shape.
Yep. Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, how about if we
Thanks,
all
Tim.
do a simultaneous checkout, so it'll be really fast. So say your 2 words all at once. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Exciting.
Thank you.
All right,
Hi, guys.
thanks.
See you. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.